Welcome to the Reiki Gem Wellness channel. I'm so glad to have you here today so that we can talk crystals. For those who are brand new to the channel, my name is Shannon and I'm a certified Reiki master and teacher and a certified gemologist. And I combine those skills and passions to provide you with the knowledge, the tools, and the opportunities to practice incorporating crystal healing into your everyday life. And these episodes, Let's Talk Crystals, are casual, unscripted, more conversational, so we can just talk about all things crystals and gemstones. The first part of the video, I offer examples of how I used gemstones to support me in my everyday life situations the previous week, so you can have a real life example. And the second part, I answer your most frequent questions about crystals and gemstone healing. And I got a lot of questions. So, and these are all questions that I feel deserve a longer answer than a one sentence comment answer. But just to remind you, if you've been watching my videos and you really appreciate the knowledge about the wide variety of crystals and gemstones and how to use them, and you're not subscribed, then please do subscribe to the channel. I post 4 videos a week about crystals and gemstones and how to use them in guided meditations. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. That keeps our crystal community growing. So how did I use crystals and gemstones this week? Well, to be honest, this was a really emotional week. It was a roller coaster, and I needed a lot of support. One, I was supposed to film this 2 days ago, but life had thrown me so many loops that I'm filming today, trying to get this in before the tropical storm weather moves in. Like, it's really windy out there, and I hope I keep power long enough to get this filmed. But I really didn't feel like filming this morning, so I broke out my powerhouse of sunstone and hematite, the introvert support stones, to help get me out there. I don't actually have them here because I was using them a few minutes ago, but sunstone helps provide that energy, confidence, to go out there. Like if you're an introvert and you need to go out and be social. And then hematite helps you focus and be grounded and deliver the message. So that's helping me. It helped me right before filming to sit down and film regardless of what has been going on in my life. But the positive aspects of this week are that I have so many opportunities to be creative and to write and to develop learning materials. I'm working on Reiki level 2 and it's coming together really quickly. So I am hoping that it will be ready for you in mid-October. Those who are taking Reiki level 1, don't forget to hit the completed button after every video and finish the course so that you will then be able to then enroll for Reiki level 2. That's how the software works. But when I am being creative, it helps to keep carnelian near me. This is the artist's stone. I keep this right by my computer as I'm writing and developing, and when I feel myself a little stuck for words with an X idea or how to put something down on words, and I pick it up and I use it like a little worry stone almost, I just, press it, hold it, try to empty my mind, and then usually the right way to say something rises up for me. But also fire quartz. Hematite quartz is the stone of clear focus. It's a combination of clear quartz and hematite. Really helps you focus on what you're doing choose the right words and message and get that work done. These were very helpful for me today in putting together the Reiki Level 2 content, working on writing parts of my book. That was the exciting, creative part of my week. However, on the flip side, there were a lot of disappointments. There were a lot of unexpected kind of crises to deal with. We were planning to take a trip to get out of the house for a couple of days. The kids had been counting down the days. We had taken the time off work. I had set up everything to run itself while we were gone. Tropical Storm Beta is at the location that we were going to be at the time that we were going to be there right now. So everybody's really disappointed. We did reschedule it. We will do it. The homeowners were very understanding and just moved the dates. No penalties. So nice. However, it was a really big disappointment, and there were other crises. So there are several stones to help with this. The first I'm going to bring up is Charoite. This is the stone of transformation and acceptance. It helps us during times of turmoil, chaos, and change to accept the present moment. Just accept what's going on. I can't change the things that are happening right now, but I can take a moment to be still and calm and not worry for a minute, and then think of what I'm going to do next. It just helps us kind of go with the flow. We're all disappointed, but we know we can reschedule it. We will still have the very appropriately socially distanced trip because we're going at an off time and the place should be nice and empty while we're there. That's a good thing about homeschooling. However, there were some times that were really, really low this week. If you are feeling utterly overwhelmed, really low, like I want to hide under my blankets all day long and not come out because I'm tired of what's going on, then there are two stones that can help you. And the first is blue aventurine. Blue aventurine is the stone of inner strength. And it helps you gather the resources that you need to just keep going. These things that are happening are temporary. They are temporary. They will pass. You will find a solution. Sometimes them all happening at once is overwhelming, but you will get through it. And blue aventurine helps remind you that you will get through it. And you do have the inner strength, the fortitude, the support system around you to get through it. The second one is Mahogany Obsidian. And you will be watching videos about Mahogany Obsidian this week. It's the stone of development, but one of its other benefits is being that life preserver when you need it, when you feel like you're drowning in life. And I'll talk more about that in the top 4 crystal healing benefits of Mahogany Obsidian. I have found, kind of week after week of these reflections over my week, that the stone that I have focused on, that I've written about and researched, filmed about, that I actually really needed that week. I really needed Mahogany Obsidian. It was the stone that I focused on, that I was preparing to film. It happened with, petrified wood. It's happened multiple times since I've been filming the Let's Talk Crystals. And keep in mind that I schedule the gemstones way far in advance. Like, I know what the next 4 months of gemstone videos will be. They are placed kind of on random weeks. I do try to mix up the different energies, although I do have petrified wood and mahogany obsidian, very earthy ones back to back, but that's probably because I needed that. And synchronicity happens, and I just happen to need that stone on the week that I film it. So that's my week. That's what's been going on. But I'm feeling really positive right now. There is storm weather outside, and I'm watching the trees as I'm filming this. But anyway, yeah, I'm feeling better now. But like I said, these things are temporary. You will get through it. It's okay to feel overwhelmed sometimes. Now, the question that I'll be talking about this week is about Orgonite. What do I think of it? Do I think that it works, that it's useful? And I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. I actually have experimented with making it. But I don't have the piece that I made with me. I've been looking for it all morning, and I think I put it somewhere safe, and now it's disappeared. But if you're not familiar with what Orgonite is, it is a careful placement of crystals, metals, copper, which is the metal, inside resin. It creates essentially a little crystal grid encased within resin. They often come in pyramid shapes, but they can come in discs and little pendants. You can get mini ones, obelisks, towers, but I believe that pyramids are the most common form of them. From my experience, making them was a really interesting project. However, they are time consuming. They take a lot of time, a lot of care, and I just don't have the time to devote to another hobby. But maybe when I retire, way down the line, I'll start that up again. If you get Orgonite from a person who makes it themselves, it's not mass produced, know that you are getting something that took a lot of care, a lot of focus, a lot of time, because you have to build it in layers. So these pieces are really special. Do I believe that it works? Yes, I do. They are creating a crystal and metal grid encased in resin that has had a lot of intention and care placed in it. However, what I want to bring up is that there is a difference between Orgonite that is made with epoxy resin and polyester resin. Epoxy resin is very safe to use. It's non-toxic. It's easier to use. However, it does not shrink at all as it dries. This is important. Polyester resin, however, is very toxic. You have to wear protective gear, but it shrinks in size as it dries. I use the polyester resin. It is a pain to make because of all the protective gear that you have to wear. It's very stinky. It doesn't dry stinky. Your Orgonite won't be smelly, but it is a chore. However, the fact that the resin shrinks puts pressure on the crystals inside the Orgonite. And it is that pressure on the crystals that activate an energy. And that's how, I forget what the energy type is, but in technology, the pressure on crystals providing and producing energy is a scientific fact. It does do this. So the polyester resin squeezing the metals and the crystals actually helps those crystals exude a lot more energy. The metal in the orgonite helps to contribute to the supportive and healing benefits of the crystals, because different metals have different properties as well. But the placement of copper wire in orgonite also helps to direct the energy outward. If you have orgonite made of polyester resin, the crystals are compressed, the energy is exuding out, the copper wire is then directing the energy outward. These work really effectively. However, it is a lot harder to use polyester resin. A lot of orgonite makers choose not to because it's toxic. It is unsafe to breathe. However, when it comes to the effect on the crystals and the metals inside, it's more effective. However, epoxy resin, you still have all the crystals together, combined with intention. Crystals that complement each other, the metals that direct energy out. Because even if a crystal is just sitting here, it's going to be exuding some energy. And then the metals will direct the energy out. If having a particular type of resin is important to you, you should ask the person who is selling it what it is made out of. And I'm not going to recommend one or the other. That is up to your personal preference, if you want it made out of epoxy resin or polyester resin. Giving you the pros and cons of both. I chose to work with polyester resin. Like I said, it was a pain. However, the piece that I made, I feel I put in selenite and Herkimer diamonds to have something that was just really uplifting and cleansing. And there's some clear quartz in there. And I had some crazy dreams after I put it on my nightstand that first couple nights. I had some crazy dreams. It had a powerful effect. I had to move it somewhere else. And wherever I moved it, now I can't find it. Anyway, so those who do make orgonite and specialize in it, if you want to add any more to the comments, certainly do. Like I said, I played with making it. I don't use it on a regular basis. I'm not an expert, but I do believe that it works. I do believe that they are helpful. They are beautiful pieces of crystal artwork that not only are functionally helpful for you, but are wonderful pieces of artwork to display with your crystals wherever you display them. Thank you so much for joining me today to talk about my week and the question of the week. If you have questions about crystals and gemstones, two things. One, look through the playlist. I believe this is like week 10 or 11, so that's a lot of questions that I've already answered. So look through the playlist to see if I've already answered your question. But if I haven't, make sure to put it in the comments. I'm collecting all of the questions that I can, and if I come across a new one, I add that to the list. So thanks again for your support. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed, because I can do new, cooler things the more subscribers I get. And have a wonderful week. Thank you so much.